There, young player Tony Lynn playing his first game for the Brisbane Bears. Towards half-back, big high flyer was Walsh. Mark Withers has been outstanding this year, but Essendon with beautiful anticipation. Over the top he goes. Stephen Clark, another hand pass. Back it comes to Keane. Former Essendon player Waterson, too slow to get rid of it. Richardson's been in great form this year. Banfield, another former bomber, so there's plenty of Essendon and former Essendon players out there. A bit tough on Peter Banfield there, but the umpire, and is that 50 metres as well, so that is very tough early in the game. But it must have been there. Peter Howe saw something. It was against Banfield, and Hawker will take this right in front of goal. You wouldn't believe this, there's no one on the mark. There is now someone's ducking back, Cameron O'Brien, but this will be a certain goal from directly in front. Goal.
Tapped out by Hine. It's another Essendon free kick, and Simon Madden is going to prove a real thorn in the Bears' side tonight. Madden up to full forward. Salmon, too easy. He had the lead and he had the height on O'Brien, and O'Brien didn't have a hope.
No, he's just too big there, Paul Salmon. 206 centimetres tall, and when he's on a lead like that, it's virtually impossible for the fullback to knock the ball away.
Salmon from just inside 40 metres. Beautiful kick.
Yes, that's a brilliant start to the Essendon side. 2 quick goals.
Half-forward flank. Bombers started very, very well. Salmon doing some ruck work. To Matthew Campbell, straight up in the air. A chance for some courage to be shown here, and there was plenty of it. Watson. Oh, brilliant play, Tim Watson. Onto the left foot goes the champ, and he puts it through.
Yes, Tim Watson's a magnificent player. He struggled with injury last year, but back to his very best this season, averaging 20 possessions a match. These are...
So the Bears on the scoreboard for the first time in the opening 10 minutes. There's a centre square infringement here, and it's an Essendon free kick. You wouldn't want to know it, and it's going to Simon Madden from the centre circle. They're getting a good run with the freeze so far. Up towards Salmon. Not quite this time. Duckworth playing the role of Rover. Great kick!
Oh, Billy Duckworth. Essendon are starting to get the look about them that they had when they won 2 premierships in a row. Billy Duckworth's been a great player for them over the years, whether in defence or on the forward line.
At the Mark Withers for that bad hand pass. Could have set it up for Kappa. Now here's Ed Considine onto the left foot. Torpedo putt. Oh, what a good mark. A ripper mark by Madden. Off he goes to Hawker. Here's danger for the Bears. Hawker to Buick, and he's marked. 30 metres out directly in front.
Oh, that was a great mark by Simon Madden. And to see how quickly he got that handball away to Hawker. He set it up, didn't go back worrying about that great mark that he'd taken. He moved the ball on quickly, and now it's ended up with Buick with quite an easy shot at goal.
Well, the Bears have been doing all the attacking in the past 5 or 6 minutes. Bernie Harris coming off and Judge on as Buick kicks for goal, and he's put it through.
Yes, he's been a magnificent player, Simon Madden, over the years at Essendon. Probably one of the best ruckmen that's ever played league football.
Well, there's Waterson, the hurry kick went through the legs of Foles. That's O'Donnell to Hawker. He knows how to pick up possessions, he does. To Keane. Back it comes to Hawker. He's a very, very skillful player. He finds Darren Williams at half-back. Williams, one of that mosquito fleet. Towards half-forward, Mike Richardson, taken away by Waterson, but Madden was there. Grabbed by Greg Anderson. A high kick. This is danger because Duckworth ducks back against Mark Robertson. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, bad play. Picked up by Duckworth off the ground. Oh, what a gimme.
Oh, poor old Mark Roberts there. I think he just took his eye off it at the last moment. He can't believe what's happened to him, and Bill Duckworth can't believe his good luck. He can't get the smile off his face, Billy Duckworth. Look at him.
Short of the wing. Billy Duckworth playing at top game. Terry Danaher shrugs off the tackle. The hand pass dropping a bit short. Clark again. Oh, great play, Stephen Clark. Salmon couldn't quite take it at the second grab. Ooh, solid one there to Banfield. He got one in the head. And that could be one of those cheekbone injuries.
Opportunities, but some fundamental errors made by the Bears, both on the forward and defence lines during the opening term. Let's go back to the cricket ground now, and we pick up play some highlights of the second term.
Umpire Peter Howe starts the second quarter, And the Bears go forward, fumbled by McIver. Hamilton back on the ground after going into the rooms at quarter time. Up towards centre half forward. Duckworth, almost a clever mark. Oh, soccering forward Watson, but the kick not quite travelling through to Salmon. And O'Brien out of defence. Madden near the wing. Oh, what a mark. Praying mantis mark.
Yes, a great player, Madden. And he gets on with it too to Foles, to Keane, who's having a good night. Gavin Keane sets it up for Salmon. Salmon at the back. O'Brien tries to punch it away, but it's a mark. And too tall, too strong, and too good then, Paul Salmon. He's marked 25 to 30 metres out directly in front.
Yes, he led to the right place there, Paul Salmon. He didn't worry about leading to that pocket. He went straight down the ground.
Well, as you said, Bernie, he's kicked one. Very accurate kick for goal normally. Big Paul Salmon. Well, from directly in front, this is just what the Bears didn't want to start the quarter. It's close, and in fact, it's a goal.
Well, he's an excellent player, Paul Salmon. There's no doubt about that. A couple of seasons ago, he's the best full forward in the competition until he hurt his knee. Probably been their best recruit of the lot of them, I'd say.
I agree with you. He best recruit in the league his first year at Collingwood. Then went to Richmond. Wasn't a good player there. Hand pass. Terry Danaher wasn't sure what to do with it. Now he brings it back to Duckworth, and Duckworth marks in front of O'Brien. Long way out from goal. Madden's ducked back. Gets away from Roberts. The lead's on by Madden. Tremendous football. Great lead. Good pass. And Madden will kick from 45 metres.
Yeah, well, that's the great ability of Simon Madden. He's also an excellent player. He's kicked a lot of goals when he's rested on that forward line. And he doesn't go back there for a rest. He goes back there to make sure that he contributes on that forward line and has a few shots at goals himself.
Well, Simon Madden on directly in front. There's the drop punt. It's coming back. It's a goal.
Well, he's a magnificent player. Been a great player over the years. Coming up towards his 300th game. Only about 12 short, Simon Madden. But he's probably still equal to any ruckman in the league.
Hawker. Well, he's having a picnic tonight. Watson. O'Keefe. Salmon. Oh, gee. The big man's strength is terrific. Here's Anderson, the former Port Adelaide player. Magnificent hand pass, finds Keane. Simon Madden has ducked back, but he elects to ignore him and find Danaher. They've got strength everywhere. A hand pass over the top. Here he is into the open goal. This is Brendan Moore, and he's put it through.
A debut goal for Brendan Moore in the big time, playing in his second VFL match. Salmon wins a big thump out of the middle. Richardson pulled off the ball when he didn't have it and will take a free kick. 10.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And Essendon 57 to 19. Danaher flicks back beautifully to Williams. Straight down the middle. Duckworth well placed. Madden at the back. Should have marked it. Might goal anyway. Simon Madden 40 metres out. Swung round like a rover. Great kick. What a goal by Simon Madden.
Yes, well, that was a great goal to Simon Madden. I thought he was a bit lucky on that occasion because he definitely gave Mark Roberts a great push in the back, put him out of the contest.
Mark Withers. This is where they've been falling down, up forward. Withers, a clever hand pass over the top to Judge. Judge kicks long. Kappa. And Walsh. Kappa. Oh, tremendous play by Walsh. I thought Kappa had an absolute certain mark, and Walsh tapped it through from behind. In that forward pocket, Rains has had a quiet night. Duckworth. Izzard. Great pace, Izzard. Caught. A hand pass. Back it comes. Withers. Caught by Johnson there. What will the umpire say here? It's held to him, he said. And the umpire's doing a great job. Peter Howe and Mike Snedden.
Number 32, about to come onto the ground for his first game. Oh, ruck infringement there. Push out and free kick right in front for Simon Madden.
Well, he knows how to use his body, Simon Madden. He's been at this caper for a long time.
Right in front, 35 metres out from goal. Great kicking style for a man who's about 6'5".
Yeah, Simon Madden, 3 goals all in this quarter.
Chris Waterson warming up on the boundary line. Reynoldsson to Ken Judge. Judge hooks it back. Brenton Phillips tapped away. This is Bernie Harris. towards the pocket. Mark Withers. Let's see if they can score a goal here. Withers goes to ground. Play on, said the umpire. Too strong in defence. Tony Danaher to Paul Hamilton. He was in doubt before the game with asthma, but he's taken his place there. Oh, Ezard roved that beautifully. Look at the pace of Ezard. To Hawker. He runs 45 metres out for a goal. He steps it low and it's a goal.
Yeah, that's magnificent play by the Bombers. Haven't seen a lot of them this year, but I've been very impressed with them tonight, the way they've teamed.
The third quarter gets underway. Essendon running left to right. Bounce slightly favours the Bears, but Madden gets to it and gains 15 metres. Banfield over his head. Up towards half forward. Danaher wrestling with O'Brien. And there's a free kick to Terry Danaher. Just on the backside of the centre square.
Steve Reynoldston is at full back on Salmon.
Yes, well, they had to do something down there, didn't they? Because they're being well beaten in that position.
Well, it's on centre wing. There's David Johnston, another one of those medium-sized players. That's terrific football to get on with the ball, and well, that's why they're a good side. And he finds Gavin Keane. He didn't mess around. He just got on with the game, Johnston. And a beautiful pass found Keane. He'll have to kick from 50 metres. He's had an excellent game tonight, Gavin Keane. Take a good kick from there. He's hooked it slightly. 2-on-1 down there. Salmon taps it to Duckworth. He dives on top of the ball. It's deep in that forward pocket, and the bounce will take place. Billy Duckworth. Great character in football, Bill Duckworth. Steve Reynoldston with that right thigh very heavily strapped. Salmon cleverly knocks it back towards the goal. Philip Walsh been outstanding tonight. Easily the Bears' best player. Out the range has been fairly quiet. Had a good year too, Jeff Rains. Good year last year too. Champion player with Richmond, and of course had stints at Collingwood and the Bombers. Salmon. Takes it out of the air. Back it comes. It's more a quick kick towards the forward pocket. And again, far too easy as a mark is taken there by Billy Duckworth. Now, he's only 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. So it should be another one coming up here to the Bombers. He's kicked two already. Bill Duckworth. Oh, absolute shocker. And he puts it out of bounds on the full.
And Billy went to the forward line in one of their grand final wins. It was in '84, the one that had to be won when they came from behind at three-quarter time. And went to the forward line, kicked a couple of goals in the grand final. Played all tonight on the forward line. Here's Buick with a mark. Waterson wanting to go on with it as though it was touched, and I think the umpire is paying that and is going to ball it up. Buick can't believe it.
Well, I don't know whether it was touched. I couldn't believe it either.
Hine in ruck against Madden. Comes to Keane. Spills to Anderson. Somehow gets the ball out, but Rains is there for the Bears. Couldn't get boot to ball. Umpire will have to sort this out. And in goes umpire Howe. Well, so many former Essendon players in the Bears lineup. They all know each other pretty well out there. Madden a hand to it. Hacked up the ground by McIver. And the mark taken by Moore. Up towards full forward. Salmon with a backhander. Oh, he's crashed over by Duckworth, and Salmon is prone. Has hardly moved since. Moore gets the hand pass to Duckworth. Billy goes to ground. But more importantly, it was Salmon who went to ground when Duckworth cleaned him up.
Holding.
Yeah, that was a... Oh, he's copped the elbow there from Billy Duckworth, both with their eyes on the ball.
Well, the umpire...
He copped the full force of that, Paul Salmon.
Well, the umpire in the meantime paid holding the man to Billy Duckworth, so a chance to atone, Drew.
Well, Billy, who lined up for his third goal a moment ago, does it again. And gets it.
Yes, well, that's the third goal there to Billy Duckworth. Well, I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy with what's happened up the field there. Although Salmon's up, and he doesn't look to be too bad. But he really copped the full force of that elbow from Billy Duckworth. They both had their eyes on the ball. And Duckworth steered that one through, made amends for that terrible kick from a few moments ago.
And Salmon going straight to the bench. Bounce back in the centre. Hine beats Madden. Hine has a second go at it. Madden tunnels it out. Hine to Waterson. Pressure by the Bombers. Waterson couldn't get his kick in. Anderson breaks away. Great play by Greg Anderson, All-Australian. This could be a goal, but just getting back there in time is Reynoldsson and marks in the goal square. Anderson playing on Campbell, two South Australian teammates in the past in State of Origin football. Walsh's hand pass under pressure, out of play.
And very, very happy Bomber supporter, I would think. Neil Hine, a huge job tonight. There he is. Well, actually, Duckworth going to do the ruck work. And Anderson, and Hine had to win that one out. There's Richardson. He is still playing in defence. He brings it towards the half-back line. Keane's been an outstanding player. He kicks wide. He's got the loose man, and he's found his captain in Terry Danaher. Now, shouldn't be any doubt about the distance here because he'll kick from about 45 metres. He's a good kick. Terry Danaher yet to score a goal tonight.
Tell you what, Salmon's just come on the ground and he's dropping into a hole here.
I'll say he is, and now they've kicked it to him. Oh, no, he's dropped the mark. Play on, said the umpire. The Salmon taps it back. Rains. I thought that was going to be a certain goal coming up. Towards half-back it goes. That Keane again. Gee, is he having a good night. Gavin Keane, off he goes. 40 metres after goal. He straightens up, he hooks it back, and he goes.
Well, it looks how far at the moment for the Essendon side. They started off this quarter in the same vein as they finished off that second quarter. And Keane's been a brilliant player, had 15 possessions. And really, Peter Knights just wouldn't know what to do to get his side back into the match there. Look a little bit undermanned at this stage. But here's Keane taking a tremendous mark. Up quickly. Doesn't waste time. And runs up to the 40-metre mark and pops it through.
Essendon out of the middle again through Watson. Goes past Anderson, but they've got numbers there. Johnston spins clear. Hand pass to Izard. Another one. Very easily at the moment. Salmon to the back. Anderson off the left boot. Oh, nearly a goal. Just about right over the goalpost.
Came back to form. Came to Victoria with a huge reputation. State of Origin player, former Port Adelaide player, of course, and well, playing fairly well again tonight after a great game last week. He was nearly best man on the ground for the Bombers. Steve Reynoldsson now having a stint at full back. Keane, oh, he's been outstanding. Don't tell me he's going to kick another one. No, he goes for the hand pass instead. Bernie Harris, whose teammate Need off, falling over was Campbell. Gee, they've had some quiet players tonight. Ken Judge, Mark Withers. Wide to Eade. That was good play by Eade to give it out and then follow up. Now he's going back towards half forward on the left foot. O'Keefe is there and Danaher. The ball's fisted away. Ezard's in there and Danaher. Cameron O'Brien puts the tackle on, but umpire Snedden will bounce it. Scoreboard at the moment shows 15-5. The Bombers, a brilliant display here. And it could be a broken nose, that to Neil Hine, to 4 goals too. So they're killing him at the moment, Essendon.
Bears going forward, but not getting a possession. The umpire will ball it up. Big pack there. Midway through the third quarter. And Neil Hine in a bit of trouble.
Didn't think anyone could reach that high.
No. Well, how did Duckworth get Salmon high? Buick just forcing the ball out of that pack. Richardson leads the race. The hand pass in, or floated, and he had to wait for it. Roberts caught in a good tackle by Johnston. Oh, well played. Off the ground goes Moore, up towards half forward. Here's Campbell. He's had a quiet night on Anderson. He's kicked to the wing to Walsh. Good climb, but couldn't take the mark. Bombers in numbers, 3-2. Oh, but Watson's blind hand pass. Well, it was gathered by Izard, whose pace got him to the ball. Great play, Alan Izard. Anderson again, this time on the bounce. He's having a top night, Greg Anderson, but that kick astray. Oh, Rains, whistle's gone. Anderson decked behind play, and it could be a relayed free, and it's going to the Bombers right in front, and that's just giving away a goal.
Well, I thought it was an absolute charity free kick. If they give 50 kicks down the ground for that, well, it'll become a game of basketball.
Ed Considine for the Bombers, going for their 16th goal.
Bumped him.
And it's right through the middle.
Yes, well, Considine joins in the act. He kicks his first. But I agree, Peter, I didn't see much in that incident.
We've got to make some attempt to hip and shoulder a bloke when he's got the ball. Still, I don't think it'll make all that much difference the way things are travelling.
No, that's right. But really, they've just been too good tonight. And they've given the Bears a football.
Kevin Sheedy certainly makes it hard for his boys to pick up media votes because Hawker's off the ground with 18 possessions. Here's Watson up to half forward. O'Brien. Campbell under pressure. Watson with a bit of space. Inside 50. Keeps it low. Beautiful pass. And the mark to Izard. Well, last time Izard from near here perhaps could have gone for goal, but he went for a pass and it was rushed through for a behind. But this is a very tight angle. He improves the angle and kicks well. Great goal.
Well, the Bombers are moving on. 5 goals, 6 they've kicked in this quarter. There's Foles. He goes wide looking for Anderson. Now it's with Hamilton. Paul Hamilton. Back it comes to Moore. Taken away by McIver, who we've hardly sighted all night. Oh, Judge and Matthew Campbell nearly got in each other's way there. The kick from Campbell. O'Donnell in front. And it's forced to... I know it's still in play. In fact, there's the cool, calm and collected Gary Anderson. Oh, gee, he's hit a bit of form. A slow start to the year with a hamstring injury. But now he's really starting to hit tip-top form. He's looking up there for Salmon. Salmon ducks back. Couldn't quite take the mark. It's in that forward pocket. Grabbed by Waterson. He brings it to the half-back line. One-on-one. Julian Anderson nearly took it again. He has his head nearly taken off there as he looks for more. It's a free kick, I think. It will come back to Anderson on half-ball.
12 kicks, 10 hand passes to Greg Anderson. Fight on behind the play.
Well, Buick's won.
Anderson, 40 metres from goal. The fight now only breaking up. Well, the Bombers won't mind this because they're just piling on the points. Don't know whether he too often would have kicked 4 goals in a game, Billy Duckworth, but he's done it tonight.
Yes, he's been magnificent also up on the forward line. They've had a lot of options coming into attack. And Billy Duckworth congratulating Anderson there, who's played a magnificent game on the wing. Billy Duckworth's kicked 4 goals, 1. And that's a good, strong mark to Billy Duckworth. Led well. And a magnificent kick for goal also from Bill Duckworth.
Well, those two players wrestling. Well, look at that scoreboard. Well, over 12 goals the difference as Philip Walsh gets the ice pack and he doesn't look too good. And that's bad luck too because he was outstanding in the first half. Darren Williams towards Salmon, the big hands. Oh, that's a good mark. They've kicked it high and up went the big arms and a terrific mark, Bernie.
Under a lot of pressure there too, Paul Salmon. But he's doing the right thing. He's leading and getting in front. And as I said earlier with the height, he's got a tremendous advantage with that height. A couple of Brisbane Bears players tried to spoil, but good strong hands and kept his eyes on the ball all the time.
Well, Rendleson would be 6'3", and even though he tried to punch, he didn't get anywhere near that ball then. That's how tall Salmon is. And he's got a bit of a leap as well. He's kicked 2. Salmon interchanging in the ruck, and there's his 3rd.
There's 3 goals to Paul Salmon tonight, and also 3 goals to his rucking partner Simon Madden. So they work very hard when they get down to that forward line as well. But they've been very impressive tonight, Essendon. They've worked very hard. Here's the mark again to Salmon. Got in front, made the lead, and of course very difficult for Reynoldsson to spoil. And here's a magnificent kick for goal, Paul Salmon too. He rarely misses many from that range.
Back in the centre, and the Bombers look like winning by over a century if this keeps up, which is remarkable since they lost by 99 to the Eagles earlier in the year. What a turnaround it's been for the Bombers in the last month. Here's Duckworth, just forward of the wing. Lost sight of it, but he was pushed out, said the umpire. Even Billy was a bit surprised to get that free kick. Up towards centre half forward. Salmon again. Comes to O'Keefe. Anderson applies the tackle. They're on each other. Anderson's at centre half forward at the moment for the Bombers. And his play in the last 10 or 15 minutes has been superb.
There's a brilliant quarter this by Anderson, and it'll be giving him increasing confidence all the time. There's Salmon. See that height, tremendous advantage. Madden and Salmon, two of the best ruckmen in the league. And then you look at their small men. Gee, Buick, Clark, Izzard, Williams, Hawker, Keane, Watson. A lot of talent there, the Bombers. And they're going to be right in it this year. There's a hurry kick by Bernie Harris towards centre wing. Hamilton onto the left foot towards half forward. No mark to Williams. But here's Gary Foles sneaking down the ground to have a pot shot. There it is, and another one to the Bombers.
Well, Peter McKenna summed it up pretty well there when he listed Essendon's good players for the Knights, and they really are going to be hard-pressed, or other sides are going to be hard-pressed to stop the Bombers in their present form. 2011 to 6-2. They booted 8-6 to 3 goals in that term, and at the final change, the Bombers leading by a mammoth 93 points.
Yeah, look at Neil Hine. Well, we saw it broken earlier on. Incidentally, Philip Walsh has gone into the rooms. We won't see him back. Glenn Hawker looks pretty happy with himself, although he was burning and taken off. That's the way you've got to play it at Essendon.
Well, it's pretty cold. He looked almost happy to be there down in that little dugout. Well, let's see if they can restore some pride, the Bears. They've been in great form in recent weeks. 4 on the trot. And, of course, now the Bombers going for 4 in a row. Darren Williams has been on and off the ground tonight. He's been able to do that, Sheedy. I'm sure he's giving Glenn Hawker a bit of a rest at the moment. And it's probably stopped him from 3 votes for best on ground because he dominated the first half. Scott McIver has been very quiet, but he's been a good player this year. Banfield towards half forward. And, well, there's a mark. Tony Danaher. Wide, straight across the ground, but there's a loose man there in Paul Hamilton, and he's got a ton of room. He runs to the centre wing and brings it wide to Anderson. Greg Anderson. That was a hamstring stretcher, that one, but he waits for the bounce. Hooks it back towards Considine. Considine to Izzard. Into the open goal goes Izzard. He stabs it low, and it's another one to the Bombers.
Yes, that's 3 goals to Izzard. And great team play there again by Essendon. They're not easing up at all. Another pat on the head from Anderson, for Anderson. He's been a great player tonight on that centre wing. Very slow start to the season. There he was, caught on his wrong foot. Centred the ball again. Handball from Ed Considine to the running Izzard. And another good goal to the Essendon.
Well, that's the way they have to get it down to Capper if he is to kick goals. Getting one out against his opponent and close to goal. Richardson loses it. This is Brendan Moore. Folds. Richardson again with a chance. Watson's there. Brilliantly taken by Watson, but Mike Richardson ducks back. Now the Bears look better as the hand pass comes out to Campbell. Campbell on the left foot, a high one. Ducking back is Danaher. He doesn't normally drop these, and that's no exception as he gives it across to O'Donnell. Beautiful backing up in defence. A bad pass, but Madden was able to take it. There was no one near him. Oh, now he has a casual bounce.
What a pick
at
up
half back. And Madden towards Billy Duckworth. He can't take the mark. Well done, Cameron O'Brien. He's caught. Hand pass away, lands with Keane. Keane a wobbly one towards half forward. The Essendon players not letting up at the moment. Here it is with Hamilton. Nearly lost his shorts. A bad hand pass, but to Moore again towards Salmon. Tries to tap it under his legs in tunnel ball style. There's Warnerson, taps it out straight through Salmon. He kicks it low. And did it sneak through? I think it did. Goal.
Well, they thought they were playing football there for a minute. It looked like a game of tunnel ball. But ended up with Salmon. That's 4 goals to Paul Salmon. And really very easy. Salmon tries to knock it on further afield. And look at that. Straight tap back out to him, and Salmon played it very smart there. Kept the ball low and dribbled it through. And 4 goals to Paul Salmon. It's been a good performance by him, both at centre, both at full forward and in the ruck.
That's a goal in each quarter to Paul Salmon. He and Duckworth both have 4. Watson again, bursting through the pack. Over the top, Salmon again. Goes the paddle once more. Clark free kick. Well, it wasn't paid. And it's gone through for a behind.
Well, it should have been paid. The umpire was about 2 metres away.
Well, I thought
let
it was
it go.
a free kick too. Maybe he saw something we didn't, but Stephen Clark looked like another one that was coming up to the Bombers. Steve Reynoldsson had to give away enormous height when he was in the ruck against Salmon and Madden. Williams couldn't take it. There's Terry Danaher hooking up. Here's danger again. Salmon in the pocket, dives. Couldn't quite take it. Here's Clark. Play on now, said the umpire. Waterson and Clark again. Still play on now. Umpire Mike Snedden will come in and bounce it now. the advantage of the Essendon side is to have Salmon up there to do the ruck work, and Madden has ducked back across the centre of the ground, forming that wall. And what a great asset, those two big men. And then you've got that 6 or 7 really small players. Salmon taps it with the left hand. Bernie Harris is there, and Keane. Watson onto the left foot. Waterson ducks back. Oh, that's a goal to Williams. Waterson missed it.
Oh, that's another bad mistake made by the Brisbane Bears.
Waterson both times.
Yeah, terrible. That last one he knocked out to Salmon, who casually kicked the goal. And on this occasion, as the kick off the ground, Watson has a snap. Waterson missed it completely, and chipping in was Darren Williams to kick his first goal, but really they've made some elementary mistakes there on the back line tonight.
And Williams, just another of the goal kickers for the Bombers here tonight. Campbell up to half forward. Lynn is there with Anthony Danaher. Lynn, the youngster, from Morningside in the QAFL. Bernie Harris, very high kick. Glaz not me underneath that. Folds. Half-back flank near the boundary line. Izard with plenty of time. Good running by his teammate. Gave him space. Anderson, did he keep it in? He was well out, and so was the ball, ruled the umpire. Anderson gave him a glare. Well, I think it might. We haven't seen much of the Bombers this year, but I think this must be Greg Anderson's best game for the year.
Yes, although he last week got 2 or 3 votes from most scribes. There's Rains. I've never seen Jeff Rains so quiet. That was McIver. Well, here they come again. Hand pass to Danaher. Now, which way will it bounce? Oh, it bounces towards Watson. He still goes in after. He's back in form, Tim Watson, after that serious knee injury.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful to Johnston. And the use of the ball, the Bombers, is very good. Now, Salmon's calling for the long one. And he's very slow getting rid of it, young David Johnston. Now he sets it up. Where's Salmon? Here he is, up in front. Mark, 25 metres out, directly in front. It's kick 4. Had a stint on the ball, and they're doing it well, Bernie.
Yeah, too easy tonight, Peter. They've completely outclassed the Bears. But here it is again, Paul Salmon using his body well. Really wasn't a quick lead on that occasion, but the big frame of his, 206 centimetres tall against Reynolds and 194, so there's 12 centimetres advantage there.
Well, and ability with it. Well, Salmon from right in front for goal number 5. He kicks and he puts it through. He'll have to go back and take his kick as he goes wide. This is the youngster, and he really does look young too. Brendan Moore. Free kick for a push out on Billy Duckworth, and the Bombers really have not had a poor player. They've had great players all over the field. Duckworth has kicked 4. He brings it towards the half-forward line. There's the pace of Tim Watson. Was it in the back? It was, said the umpire. And Watson, he is right back in form, and tremendous to see one of the great players of league football in the past decade, Tim Watson, as he brings it high towards half-forward. Where's Madden? There he is, but he couldn't take the mark, but Salmon's there as well. His players dive in on top of it at half-forward for the Bombers. And Mike Richardson is there for the Bears. They smother it. 24-12 plays 7-3, so 36 scoring shots to 10, and I think that tells the story of the night.
Oh, Essendon way too good. And since Kevin Sheedy took them out for dinner after training on a Thursday night, they've made a remarkable turnaround. There's a flying shot by Williams. Misses to the left. Hard to believe that in round 2 against the Eagles, they were thumped by 99 points. Tonight they're going to complete their 4th win on end. They'll be in the 5 tonight. And if the team which beat them by the 99 in round 2 loses on Sunday, Essendon will stay in the 5.
Oh, that's the biggest nose you've ever seen, isn't it, Drew? Look at it. Oh, been a decent whack.
And their options are pretty limited to replace him. He's got to stay up there.
Well, Philip Walsh looked a very sick boy too, and he was easily their best player. Someone's pinched the football, I think. And there's the new one coming on.
Well, 2 kids were whisked away by the police for signalling a goal. I wonder if the guy who actually got a football will get caught.
thought that was John Russo bringing that football out then. I wonder if he's the emergency, because I think it might have been. Through the emergency as the ball comes back towards half-back. It was John Russo. In fact, he's coming back from injury. So great to see John Russo. I think he had an Achilles tendon operation, and Bernie...
I know a lot about those.
Well,
Peter.
I was going to say you had the both, didn't you?
Yes, both of them done, and they can take a long while to come good.
Well, good to see Johnny Russo back in the fray. A great bloke, Russo, and a good umpire now. Here's Anderson, 50 metres out. A high one. Madden at the back. And the ball is forced over the line.
Well, there's Glenn Hawker, who must have been off the ground for more than a quarter, which is unbelievable, because he'd had 18 possessions. Comes to the back. Oh, scooped off the ground by Williams. Back to Considine. Offline with his kick. Out of bounds on the full.
Wasn't that brilliant ruck work there again by Simon Madden? He brings the ball to the back of the pack on every occasion and gives the running players a good chance to kick a goal from that position.
Brendan Phillips would not have appreciated tonight. He's got to actually kick over the mark, said umpire Snedden. And, gee, they've had some great players. Anderson, Hawker, Keane. Well, they've all done their bit tonight. Probably shouldn't even mention individuals. Been a real team effort. There's a good mark to the Bears. And that's young Matthew Simpson taking that mark. The umpire say he played on. Yes, he did. The umpire said he was off, and Considine tackled him, and it's a free kick to Considine for holding the ball. So Ed Considine, number 37, he's kicked one. Now who's coming? Darren Williams is coming off, and Glenn Hawker back on for the Bombers. Gee, they've had so many easy options tonight. Ed Considine from 50 metres, a high one to the pocket, or to the goal square, I should say. That might have floated through. No, it was touched by Neil Hine right on the line.
So Williams has been on the bench 3 or 4 times tonight, and your head would be spinning trying to work out some of the positional changes and just team lineup changes that Sheedy makes during a game. Midway through the last quarter, and Essendon winning it by a mile. Oh, what a climb by Campbell. No mark. Comes to Keane. Short pass infield. Johnston.
Oh, he was off.
He was off too.
He was off, no doubt. Oh, no.
Oh, that's a bad decision, that.
That's unlucky, that, because he definitely made a break for it.
Well, the bad thing is, Bernie, it's inconsistent, because they played the one on the other side of the ground.
And even worse, it's going to make it a simple goal.
He definitely took a movement to play on, didn't he?
Yeah, there's no doubt, Peter. No doubt.
I don't think it'll make Banfield look absolutely disgusted as Johnston comes in and goals.
And he's now their 13th goal kicker.
Yeah, they've had plenty of options. They've had great players on that forward line, and all their running players have chipped in. Players from the centre line have come down and kicked goals. And that's really rubbing the salt into the wounds for the Bears, because there's no doubt in my mind that Johnson was off.
Kaiba, they badly missed at Fitzroy this year too. Madden. 12 minutes to go in this final quarter, and it'll be interesting to see if they keep up the pressure of the Bombers. The normal thing would probably be to relax a little bit, and the Bears come back into it. 25 goals to 8 at the moment. Madden, straight to Withers. He's been fairly quiet too after a great season. Hurry kick was by Harris towards half forward. Grabbed by Foles. Foles wide. Terry Danaher should mark, and he does. He's very strong overhead, Danaher. Off he goes to Anderson. Will he get the bounce? He does. Ducks back onto the left foot. He's had a great night, Greg Anderson, and he kicks long. That's the way to play it at the MCG. Madden! Oh, up went the big arm, one-handed. And how many times over the years have we seen that, Bernie?
He does that a lot, doesn't he, Simon Madden? Puts that one hand up, and a lot of occasion it looks like luck, but there it is again, a magnificent mark. Hines slipped at the crucial moment, but Simon Madden's had a magnificent night.
Well, he's kicked 3, and he absolutely dominated the rucks, as he normally does. And from 30 metres out, it's slightly off the side of the boot, and a bad miss, that one, by the big bloke, as he puts it through for a point. And even he's a real pro. He's not happy with that kick. 25-16 to 8-3, and there's Essendon Brains Trust, Kevin Sheedy and Brian Donoghue, chairman of, or ex-chairman of selectors. I don't know whether he's still back there in that position. Left foot is by Eade. The half back to Simpson, the youngster, and he marks on, well, further afield, getting round towards centre wing.
High to the wing. Watson, as he recovered from his cramp, socks down. Through Watson, onto Madden. Up towards centre half forward. Duckworth is there. Sorry, it was Considine. Comes to the back, picked up by Rains. Awkward won this. 1 out contest. Oh, Essendon in numbers now. Keane to Watson again. Can't seem to avoid the ball. Beautiful pass by Tim Watson. Right onto the chest of Izard.
Yeah, well, the class really showed through there with Tim Watson, because he got the ball, didn't blaze away, looked for a leading player in that forward line, and Izard knew that if he led, that he would get the ball on the chest.
Watson, 22 possessions, and Izard going for his 4th. And he's got his 4th.
Yes, well, with Tim Watson back in town, this Essendon side looks a lot better. He struggled last year, first year back after injury, but he's been magnificent again tonight, and the Essendon running players have really dominated this match. Really, the Bears have been outclassed completely by this Essendon side. They're looking a lot keener this year, Essendon, and really back to the form that got them to those 2 grand finals, 2 premierships in fact.
Well, the Bombers going on with it. Now Walsh playing at centre-half back because Capper's been moved to centre-half forward. Rains ducks back to take the mark. Now playing in defence, of course. He kicks it wide and finds Eade. Eade to half forward. Now Capper. Can't take the mark. Judge is there. Good skills by Judge. Hand pass back to Eade. The 2 former Hawthorn players combining. It's towards half forward. Lynn couldn't take the mark. Watson ducks back to Lynn to hand and casually takes it over the line in front of the Melbourne members stand. And there's Paul Salmon. He's done his work tonight, of course. Rucked well and kicked 5 goals. But Essendon have had the criticism the last year or so. But boy, have they had some injuries to champion players. Look at the speed of Clark. Beautiful pass was meant for Hawker. Punched away by Brenton Phillips. Now it's Simpson. Oh, they've lost it again. Phillips in again. Now it's Simpson. Onto the left foot. He'll set it up, looking for Scott McIver, who ducks back. But look at the ground that Madden covers, Bernie.
He's been magnificent. I'd say he'd even be the best ruckman in the league at the moment, Peter. He's a complete footballer. He goes up to that forward line, kicks goals, gets down to the back line, covers for the full back, and of course a magnificent knock ruckman in the centre.
I don't think you get any argument on that one.
O'Donnell kicks in. Another chance for the Bombers. Keane seems to have the ball on the string, just keeps on getting it. Hamilton. Watson again. Oh, in a split second over the top. And all of a sudden he put Williams out in the open. And there's men breaking out in the clear here. Anderson, he can kick this himself from just inside 50. Beautiful play by the Bombers.
By quarter scores really indicate the almost perfect game to Essendon, and in the final quarter they ran away with it, kicking 9-9 to the Brisbane Bears 2-4, and they won by a mammoth 140 points, a great percentage booster for the Bombers. They're major goal kickers, and they really were shared because Kevin Sheedy gave a lot of the boys stints on the bench tonight. Salmon got 5 goals, Duckworth 4, and Izard also.